Today, it is a beautiful day today, and I'm here at Bootlegger Harley-Davidson right in the heart of Knoxville, Tennessee. Bootlegger Harley-Davidson is on your way to anywhere that you're going into Knoxville. You'll pass right past this dealership. You guys saw the video where I said why you should buy a Road Glide, and that video actually pained me to make. But today's video, I'm going to be talking about why you should buy the best motorcycle that Harley-Davidson has ever made. None of those one-trick show ponies with the fixed fairing. No, none of that. The original Batwing fairing. We're talking about the original bike, the Street Glide, not the other bike today. All right, so I got Tony with me. We're gonna film this video, and I'm gonna give you the advantages of buying a Street Glide over those other bikes. Let's do it. All right, guys, so we're back. Listen, first of all, if it's your first time coming to the channel, my name is Tall, and this is YouTube channel Traveling Tall, and we talk about motorcycles, mainly Harley-Davidson motorcycles, test rides, tutorials, product reviews, installations, and of course, traveling. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I have a 2019 Street Glide that I rode from Tennessee, well, actually from the Outer Banks of North Carolina, all the way out to California. For everybody that's saying that you cannot ride a Street Glide long distance, come on now, stop that. That nonsense stops today. This beautiful bike that I have if you watch my last video, you know that this does not belong on this bike unless it's raining. This beautiful Street Glide that I'm standing in front of it, 2022 Street Glide, blacked out. It's a fantastic looking bike. But the whole point of making this video is why you should buy a Street Glide over a Road Glide. You know I'm gonna have some fun with you guys. Obviously, it looks better. That's number one. Looks are subject to opinion. And some people like those other bikes, and some people like the better bike, the Street Glide. Let me give you the differences between this motorcycle and a Road Glide. First difference you'll notice, the front end looks different. The main difference between a Road Glide and a Street Glide is this one has a Batwing fairing. A Road Glide has a fixed fairing, AKA shark nose, and this one, the fairing is attached to the front forks. Therefore, when you turn the bike right, the fairing turns with the motorcycle, as it should. Now, here's the thing about that. Everything from the steering neck back is the same. But we're not just going to pick on Road Glide riders. We're also going to talk about Ultra riders, because you can get an Ultra with a Batwing fairing, but there's a difference between a Street Glide and an Ultra. The main difference between a Street Glide and an Ultra is that on the Street Glide, the rear end is squatted a little bit. I believe you have 11-inch shocks versus the Ultra has 13-inch shocks. So you're 2 inches lower in the rear. And therefore, it makes the weight, the center of gravity lower to the ground, and also your seat height will be lower to the ground. And if you are kind of weak in the legs or just need to be lower to the ground, the Street Glide will be the best bike for you. I'm not talking about the Road Glide, because the Road Glide is the same way. But the Street Glide would be the best bike for you over the Ultra, because you can always take the things that you like from Ultra and put it on the Street Glide and make it a somewhat Street Glide Ultra. When I turn the bars to the right, what do you see? Can you see this, Tony, in the front? It's a headlight. Now, the Road Glide has 2 headlights, and 2 headlights obviously is better than 1. But here's an added bonus that you get out of a Street Glide, that you can turn and shine the light in the way that you want to go. Means absolutely nothing when you're riding, because we know that you're not turning the bars like that when you're riding. But say, for instance, and I've been out there in Wyoming late at night, no street lights or anything, and you might need to kind of shine the light to the left to see what's down that road or down the trail in Wyoming, or down to the right. You have that option with the Street Glide. With a Road Glide, you would have to point it in the direction, the whole bike in the direction, because it has a fixed headlights. This one will turn, the lights will turn when you turn. The whole myth that this motorcycle will make you more fatigued when you're traveling, going down the road. You ask anybody who has a Batwing bike that's done long distance riding, such as myself, I've never felt this fairing, the shaking or whatever, making me fatigued. I put 500-600 miles on a motorcycle and I had no issues with this. Now I'll tell you what else is a little bit more fatiguing on a road glide than it is a street glide. The way the fairing is on a street glide, you have your hands behind the fairing. You have your chest, most of your chest behind the fairing. Let me just get on the bike and show you. Now, what's going to be more tiresome? You fighting with your body against the wind? Yes, the bike is shark nose and aerodynamic, but your body is more exposed outside of the fairing. That's going to be more tiring to me, fighting against that wind, than being behind this nice little rider bubble that you have on the street glide. Another myth that we can just dispel today. This motorcycle right here is not made for tall people. I'm 6'6". Again, the only difference between a street glide and a road glide is the fairing in the front from the neck forward. There's no more room on a road glide than there is a street glide. But I'll say this, there's an illusion that there's more room on a road glide because the navigation screen is further away, and with the street glide, the navigation screen is easy, arm's reach, and plus all your gauges are right there in one nice line, versus the road glide with one gauge here, one gauge there, and a couple gauges there. You can, at a glance, it's easier to see everything right here with the street glide than it is a road glide. Another point, the mirrors. Now, this could be a good thing or a bad thing. When I went up on bars, I had to get drop down mirror brackets. I actually like the way that the mirrors are attached to the street glide. It just gives you that clean, sleek look. The mirrors being on top of the, on the controls here on the road glide, that's not my favorite look. I like the mirrors right here, right behind the fairing. Again, speaking behind the fairing, I told you that your hands are more exposed on a road glide. They're not really completely exposed, but on a cold day, you're gonna feel more cold air or rain on your hands on a road glide than a street glide. You got this nice little pocket right here that your hands are behind. So on a cold day, you're not feeling the effects of that as bad. I know this video is about why you should buy a street glide, but what I do like about the road glide is the air. I like that you get more air. I do. I'm a rider who likes a short windshield. That's why I like riding the Road King too, because I like my air. If you take anything from this video, this is the key takeaway that I want you to take from this video. Everyone says that slow maneuvering in the parking lot, you feel the weight of the fairing. Here's the thing. You have more weight because it is attached to the bars, but that weight actually helps you with slow maneuvering. Ask any law enforcement officer that you want to ask, they will tell you the weight of the fairing helps you dip the bike down into the turn that much tighter. And it's a mental thing too. It's like your mind is connected to your hands because you're visually seeing the bars turn. So that will help you gauge the turn, how tight a radius the turn is. With a road glide, it's a learning curve. After riding it for a while, then you'll connect with it. But this, when you turn, you can tell how deep a turn you have the bars because the fairing is going to turn with it also. I'll give you two more things, but here's another thing about this street glide. These bikes are 880 pounds. Actually, the road glide weighs more, but these bikes are not light bikes. I'm 6'6", but let's just say for someone who is shorter in stature or weak in the legs that wants to ride this motorcycle, this simple action of getting this bike off the center stand is not a big deal for me. Sorry, not center stand, side stand, and not even side stand. With Harley-Davidson, it's a Jiffy stand. So this simple action of getting it off the Jiffy stand, it's easy for me. But for someone without the length of legs or the strength, they may struggle with getting a bike off of the side stand. Here's a trick that you can do with this bike that you can't do with the road glide. When you turn the wheel to the right, all of this weight has now shifted over to the right, making it so much easier to get this bike off of the side stand. With the Road Glide, you are getting the front fender and the wheel turned over, but you have a lot more weight to help you get this bike off of the side stand. And that is another reason why the Street Glide is superior to that one-trick pony. I'm sorry, Road Glide. Tony, you look down at that crack right there? That one right there running across. Yep. Here's the thing. Loading a Street Glide, don't even say it, I know I'm setting myself up, onto a trailer, I know I'm setting myself up by saying that, or rolling a Road Glide onto a trailer. Street Glide riders really ride, by the way, but rolling the Street Glide or Road Glide onto a trailer, onto a wheel chalk, I can see my front wheel right here. I can know when I get to a certain point. I actually tried to load a Road Glide up into a trailer. Actually tried to, just for you Road Glide riders, when you're pulling up to a curve, you're blinded by the fairing. It's so hard to see, to know how close you are to a curve because the fairing is made differently. This, total different thing. You can see how close you are to the curve. You can see how close you are going into the wheel chalk. That's another advantage of it. And by the way, come over here, Tony, let me show you this. Which way are my speakers facing? Facing you. That's right. They are firing directly at me. Which way are the speakers facing on a Road Glide? Firing at an angle upwards, right? So the sound can be heard better on a Street Glide than it can a Road Glide. Now guys, I know it seemed like I beat up on y'all's beloved Road Glides, and the truth is I like Road Glides too, but it's just time to stop all this nonsense of everybody putting down the iconic Batwing fairing. This motorcycle right here is what got millions of us off of sport bikes. When Harley-Davidson came out with the Street Glide and we saw the potential of what you can do to a Harley just by looking at the stripped down hot rod version of a Harley-Davidson, that got me away from the sport bikes and said, I gotta have one of those. I didn't feel the same way about the Road Glide. The older Road Glide, I'm actually liking the older Road Glides better now. But the older Road Glide didn't do it for me. I mean, a Road Glide from off the bike, it's a beautiful motorcycle. But when you get on it, come over here, Tony, look over my shoulder for a second. When you get on it, this is the view that I see. And for me, this view is much more clean, nicer view than how the Road Glide is. I just think this is really beautiful, the way this view is versus how the Road Glide is. Hopefully, guys, you don't take offense to it. So, yes, it's a good bike. Yes, there's a reason to buy a Road Glide, but if you want the best that Harley-Davidson makes, then Street Glide is the way to go. So that is why you should buy a Street Glide. We're gonna end this video here. I really, really want to hear your opinion. Let's keep it respectful. Guys, if you are easily offended because you ride a Road Glide, I'm not sorry, you should have bought a Street Glide. All right, guys, want to thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more like it, please subscribe. Again, guys, subscribe, share the video, regardless if you ride a Road Glide or a Street Glide. I like making these videos, and I thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, keep gliding, and as always, have a blessed day.
Hey guys, Tony from Bootlegger Harley-Davidson. Stay safe, get out and ride your Street Glides. If you ride a Road Glide, try to enjoy it as much as we enjoy our Street Glides. Come up and see us. We're gearing up for a big thing, getting ready to be announced. I got a question for Tall. When does a joke become a dad joke, Tall?
I don't know when.
When it becomes apparent.
That's horrible.